So Jean, it's October 6th, 9 a.m. How are you?
Very good. Good to see you.
Exactly. Please tell me what you have in this case.
I would first suggest that you take this off. No, not the gloves on. Just take the gloves off and see what it's like.
Okay, wow.
Okay, so this watch you know.
I do.
Have you seen one in real life before?
Actually, I haven't, no.
So this is the Monterey LV1, 1988, the first watch ever made by Louis Vuitton. And it was a collaboration between Louis Vuitton and IWC. Obviously a secret collaboration in a way, like LWC just made the watch Louis Vuitton, but there was no official like co-branding or anything.
1988 you're saying?
1988.
This is really cool to me because this is 10 years after LMH had acquired it. So this is Günther Blumlein.
Exactly.
This is very cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was, so Vuitton contracted Gae Aulenti, the famous Italian architect that actually restored the Musée d'Orsay transformed the Musée d'Orsay from train station to a museum under Valéry Giscard d'Estaing. And that became sort of her claim to fame in France at least, and sparked the interest of the LV management back then to say, actually she's never made a collection, she should make a collection for us. So she made watches, she made pens and stuff like that. And arguably, this watch is probably one of the most interesting ones that came out of that collaboration. This watch has become quite a sensation. I remember seeing it online on eBay for around 2,500 euros and was hesitating with my team. Oh, should I buy it? Should I not buy it? What should I do? Etc. I ended up not buying that watch, and I was very disappointed. So I bought a later LV1, but much more expensive. And yeah, it was just surprising to see the excitement coming from the watch. So it only came naturally that we decided to relaunch that watch in a way, but make it modern and make it 21st century. So if you want to see, you can open this case and see the new Louis Vuitton Monterey. This time not 1988, but 2025.
Yeah, it's funny though. It seems like everything from the 1980s is now a flashpoint of inspiration for the current generation.
Yes, yet I didn't want to make it exactly the same. So obviously we could have chosen to use the same quartz movement, the same re-edition and everything like that. But La Fabrique du Temps being La Fabrique du Temps, I wanted to represent what Louis Vuitton was capable of doing today.
What kind of dial is this?
Enamel.
Dude.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Entirely enamel. Enamel dial, in-house movement.
Okay, so this is the second time he's done this as well, because I remember he showed me the first Genta jump hour minute repeater, and I'm like, oh, it's really cool. Then I look at it, it's like, holy shit, you made this whole dial out of a gonfle enamel.
Yeah.
Even like Donald Duck's like hat with these little like checkerboard patterns in it, you know, and I find that to be really remarkable. And then so you've taken this and you made a major elevation to it, because the first thing I look at is this stunning gonfle enamel dial in multicolors as well.
Yes, exactly. And you know, we put a lot of effort into making our enamel dials, you know. And again, the core point for me with this watch is to say, in 1988, Vuitton made the watch and made these choices for one simple reason, because they didn't have a watch manufacturer, they didn't have any investments into watchmaking before, so just building everything from scratch just to make one watch was a bit intense, so that's why they went to IWC. Here, we're in a totally different scenario, right? We have La Fabrique du Temps, we have all these amazing crafts and savoir-faire that allows us to make the watch from start to finish, which is why we decided to go full beans on it and say in-house movement, and enamel dial, and obviously the beautiful gold case, and revisit a little bit of the design elements, because technically, obviously, it was a lot more, let's say, important to make these changes. For instance, the crown at 12 is slightly bigger, slightly smaller, just to ease the winding of the watch, because it's a mechanical watch. You did not need that back then in the 1988 version, and I think it's interesting to see.
What is the plan for this? Is it going to be a small series, or will it be in the
small series, limited edition of 188 pieces? Okay. Yep. Yeah. And again, this watch is garnering a lot of excitement. In general, we've introduced it to some of our clients already. Right. Most of them that have seen the watch have bought the watch, so we're quite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're quite happy with that.
Was it on the runway at one point?
Not this one exactly, but the vintage version, yes. Okay. The vintage version was.
And was that meant to be a bit of a tease for us?
Well, the watch was not supposed to leak on Instagram, which it did. Okay, right. But otherwise, yeah, it's just because again, creative minds going together. Our artistic director for watchmaking, teased a little bit the watch to our Nicolas Gesquier, obviously our artistic director, and then he was like, "Oh my God, I love this watch! I didn't know it existed. I want to put it on the runway." And so things flow a little bit naturally in that scenario, and things work a bit differently for that.
And you're talking about Matthew, right?
Yes, correct.
I got to say, you have a really cool team at Fabrique de Temps.
Couldn't agree more.
And these guys are like, they're all like, they're super fired up, right? They're so inspired, and everyone's kind of going in the same direction. Like, how important was it to you to get everyone to be like, okay, this is coming. We're now autologerie. We're going to try to be as refined as possible, and let's bring as much fresh energy as we can.
Well, for me, I think the most important is as soon as we had a clear direction of where we wanted to go. The first came with Tambour, obviously, like changing up and making sure that we made watches elevated and stuff, is essentially giving a brief and knowing you could close your eyes and trust the fact that the brief will be upheld and probably exceeded as well.
Right.
So Monterey being an example, we were like, okay, should we redo it? Should we not redo it? What should we do? And then Matthew was like, we'll redo it, but trust me. And then a couple of weeks down the road, I see a design for this and enamel dial, in-house movement, all these different little flourishes that changes, using the same typography as he used before. The Louis Vuitton Paris signature is the same. Like, he knows exactly the way we want to work and the way what fits within the new La Fabrique du Temps sort of conundrum, and that's very important to us. And so, then it's not only something to draw up a watch and say we should do this, but then execute it and make it perfectly through and through, and just making sure that at some point, like sometimes in meetings, like I would ask all the components for the watch to be taken apart, and so I can just take 2 hours and look at every single component and say like, okay, is this screw finished well enough, or things like that, And sometimes for watches that haven't done that in the past, like I'm just checking, just to see if this is okay. And most of the time, like I'm blown away by the amount of craftsmanship and savoir-faire that's been put in that, and that's true for this watch as well,
One of the guys that I was really impressed with, and you see his work so much in for example, the Carpe Diem and things like that, is Dick Steedman.
Yes.
Right. This guy, I guess he's heading up all of the métier d'art.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
But he's kind of like a métier d'art badass himself.
Oh my God, he's insane.
Yes, right. And I mean, how did you recruit him, and how did you get him so invested in what you guys are doing?
Well, I mean, he worked with us for many, many years. Like his first project with La Fabrique du Temps, or Louis Vuitton, that was before La Fabrique du Temps in general, was in 2004.
Yeah.
And that was a collaboration between him and Anita Porcher. So both of them worked very, very closely together. They did speedy watches back then, so like the square watch, a bit like the Monaco of Tag Heuer.
Yeah.
And they did, I think, Paris Skyline enamel and engravings on that. If you find one online, text me, I'll buy it. I want to buy that watch. Like it's just there's been I think 3 or 4 of them that were ever made for like very special clients and stuff. And the level of detail these guys go into to make these watches is completely insane. And the fact as well that LV tapped these talents so early on, when obviously they were extremely talented, but no one in the industry knew them. Just getting them on board and showing the trust of, LV works well, LV is serious about their watchmaking, and we want to make the highest craft possible is very important. And so that convinced Dick to join us and join with his whole atelier and create this sort of métier d'art craze that we have now at Fabrique du Temps, and we try to push the limits as well. So most of the time, they also have, like free briefs of saying, okay, what's the max you can do, and then just go for it, and we'll see what happens. And sometimes the designs are not that great, sometimes the designs are amazing, and then but the fact that the technicality of it has been pushed to the max is what is really interesting to me, because we know that even if the design is not in line with what LV would be doing, we know that there's going to be a little bit of a technique that can be used to then be put on a watch, which is more along the LV lines.
Well, you can really see the fruits of all this labor as well. It's October 6th at 9 a.m. And in 1 month and 7 days, it's going to be the GPHG.
Yes,
and
correct.
The amount of
you count well.
Thank you. And the amount of nominations that you have,
correct,
are quite staggering, actually.
I'm pretty happy with that, I have to say.
I imagine for the team, it's also like a nice validation of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's humbling, I didn't expect it to be that way when we first started this project and first started this adventure. And I'm incredibly happy and proud that we are where we are now. I mean, obviously we haven't won anything yet. Hopefully we'll win at least one prize or something, I don't know. But I don't want to jinx anything. But just the fact of being in the final for me is already like a big win, you know, because I know the Academy votes for it, and that means that the masses have, I mean the quote-unquote masses in the watch industry have approved our watchmaking in a way. And that's incredibly humbling and incredibly happy. Like I was almost in tears when I saw that we had like 8 watches in the finals. I was like, oh my God, okay, that's great. I sent it to like my parents. I was like, hey, I'm proud, and I was like, yeah, we're proud of you, great. Awesome. You know, it's like all small things like this that make me very happy. And even if we don't win anything in November, I don't care. Like it's okay. We've been in the finals 8 times, and that's plenty enough.
I'll see you in November.
Yeah, see you around.
Thank you, buddy. Cheers.